Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Are you an armchair prepper? Have you even considered what your actual readiness, preparedness level is? To me, an armchair prepper is someone who has possibly a nice big stockpile of food. However, they don't really know how to cook that food. They don't use, rotate, and replace that food. They're stocked up on food that is not useful. If you're not using it, if you don't know what to do with it, then it's just languishing away. It becomes like clutter. It isn't just a stockpile of things that are put away for another day, like your extra boxes of Christmas decorations you might need one day. To be fully prepared, your pantry needs to be a working pantry. You should be working your way through that food, using, rotating, replacing, and then make sure that it's food that you actually want to eat, you enjoy eating, you know how to prepare. It's okay to have some of the buckets of beans and rice put away for 30 years. Just make sure you have some idea of how you're going to use that if that becomes the only food you have left. If you just have this confidence, I have all these rice and beans, I don't have to worry in the apocalypse, but you don't have any water, you don't have a way to cook them, you don't have even any idea how, you're not prepared. You're an armchair prepper. Maybe you've read about it and ordered some things online, but that didn't mean that you are prepared to take care of yourself and your family. Are you an armchair prepper? Do you have some water stored aside, possibly some state-of-the-art water filters or basic things like life straws that you could use in an emergency? But have you ever gotten them out and used them? Have you tried them? Do you know how they work? Do you know how to backflush your filters? Do you store extra water, say, under your sink or in the bathroom, so if the water stops running, you at least have some water you can easily reach for to wash a dish, clean your hands, flush a toilet, bathe a baby? Do you have some extra water for those purposes? And do you have it handy? It shouldn't just be in a barrel, maybe out in your garage or in your cellar. It has to be water that you can easily access and use. It's great to have a big store of water somewhere else, but you need to have some handy, some that's for drinking and other water that is for taking care of business. If your water suddenly goes under boil alert, do you have a way to filter it so that you can continue to utilize the water that's flowing even into your home? Water can keep running but not be safe. Sometimes we just think the water will stop running, and that's a problem as well, that we want to have extra water stored. But if your water keeps running but it's contaminated, you need to have a way to purify that water that you can easily access and you understand how to use that equipment. Are you an armchair prepper? Do you have a nice supply of first aid gear? But do you have a first aid manual? Have you read it? Do you understand and remember how to do CPR? Help someone who's in shock? Do you know how to help someone who maybe has a neck injury? Do you know what to do if someone hurt their arm? How to stop bleeding? There are all kinds of things that we need to know how to do in an emergency. We don't have time to go back and study over that first aid manual. You want to stay fresh with those skills. You also want to inspect your first aid supplies. If your supplies are from a long time ago, maybe your Band-Aids are no longer sticky, maybe your medications are all expired, maybe old cough syrups have leaked, maybe your old ointments and lotions have dried up and expired and they're not even useful anymore. You need to make sure that you're keeping track of the things that you have and that they are useful to you. Are you an armchair prepper? Are you comfy at home and you feel confident that you have all the things you need, that you could shelter in place, you could bug in, you could stay there? What if something happens? What if you have to bug out? You might say, well, I'm not ever doing that. What if you have to? What if your house is damaged and you can't stay in it? What if your house is destroyed? What if your whole area becomes under a mandatory evacuation? Are you really going to give up your life because you're comfy in your armchair and you don't want to have to flee for safety to save your life? You can always get more things. You can't get another life. And that's the whole point of being prepared, but not being so attached to your things that you would stay behind and risk your life for things. Are you an armchair prepper? Are you staying physically fit, or are you more comfy in that chair? I know as I'm growing older, I need to make sure that I try to keep my fitness level up, which is a challenge. Sometimes it's easier to slow down. And then I was sick a few months ago, and it's hard to get going again. It really is a struggle. The older you are, if you get knocked down, it's harder to get up and get back to the level you were, let alone to continue to improve. I'm trying to put myself on project status that I try to take better care of my health and make sure I'm getting my strength back and get up and get going again. But it's something that I have to work on. As individuals, our fitness level is something we need to consciously think about, prepare for, and take charge of ourselves. As an armchair prepper, maybe you're looking at all your food and thinking, this is going to last nearly forever. Everything you store either gets used up or is no longer useful eventually. You might want to make sure that you understand how to grow a garden. Get some garden seeds. Spring and summer are here. Start planting a few things. Sprout some things in a jar if you don't have a garden. Maybe find someone who has a yard who's already growing a garden, and they will let you come over and help. And you can then maybe put a row of plants in their garden that could be for you, that you come over and help. There are also community gardens where you can be assigned a section of a garden that is yours to come and grow food for yourself. I don't know all the implications of how community gardens work, but you might want to research that if you don't have a spot that you could grow something in your own backyard or patio or balcony. Find sources of water. Look around your community. What's closest to where you live? Are there streams? Are there rivers? Are there lakes? Where could you get water? Are there water filling stations? Figure out where you could get some extra water if your water stopped running, that you don't have an emergency because you have no idea of where to get more water, even if you have a water filter. I know when my kids were little, they used to say, if the water stops running, we're getting all of our buckets and we're going out by so-and-so's house because they have a lake. We're going to scoop it all up. Even as little kids, they were trying to think about how we can have the things we need. Sometimes armchair preppers become sedentary and they forget to socialize, have friends, reach out, and have that camaraderie with like-minded people. So let's make sure that we are building a community. We're finding like-minded people. Don't overshare with people you don't know if you can trust, but you can find those people, learn new skills, make new connections, and then when we do face challenges in the future, hopefully you will be prepared, better prepared than if you were just resting in your armchair too long. Let's be proactive and make sure that we are taking care of business so that we make the best outcome for ourselves and our family, no matter the situation. Let us know in the comments below, what else should we be aware of and what can we do to make sure we don't become a sedentary armchair prepper, but we're fully prepared to face an unknown future. I hope you'll like my video, share it, please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.